Hey friends, good morning. It is Lyssa from Embellish in Watertown, Wisconsin. I'm delighted to be here sharing a cool new fold with you. I got this card for my birthday from my friend Kathy. Very cool, and I absolutely loved the way it opened. So fun. So I have recreated that today with some brand new papers for you. Gorgeous zinnia paper from the online exclusives from Stampin' Up. So super fun, very cute idea. You are going to love how easy this one is to do. So let's make it together, shall we? But first I wanted to give you a sneak peek of these beautiful papers. Gorgeous designs, and they all coordinate. Love that. So pretty. Look at that one. Oh, if you're a purple fan, this is a good pack for you. It all coordinates with purple. So pretty. I just love this pack. And then, of course, there's a big 12 by 12 sheet with this on the top and the bottom. And I've already cut mine because I've been working on next month's sweet sampler. So for April of 2024, the sweet sampler will be this gorgeous zinnia paper. So that is going to be really fun. If you like bold brights or purple, this is going to be the pack, the sweet sampler for you, right? Okay, so that's what the papers look like. There's a matching bundle, but I did not go ahead and get that. Although I'm going to, but I don't have it in my possession yet. So we will just make do with some gorgeous butterflies, right? The butterflies are in the spring mini catalog, and we just found out they will be carrying over to the next big catalog. So that's fun. We'll have those for a while. And I just used two of those little dewjobbies, some white paper, and one sheet of cardstock. So to begin, you're going to need a sheet of cardstock, cleverly enough. And the first time I made this card, I made it with Highland Heather. But after I got cutting my paper and stuff, I realized there's actually not much of my purple was showing on my paper. So maybe this time I'm going to try it with pumpkin pie to pull out that dark orange color there. So that's going to be a little different from our sample. Then you're going to need two 4 by 5 1/4 pieces of pattern paper, double-sided pattern paper, very fun. So there, yes, this does take more than an ordinary card. So this is one of those special cards. It does, however, still fit in a regular envelope, so it doesn't cost any more to mail. It's just going to take you a little bit more in supplies. Then you're going to need a piece that's 5 1/4 by 2 inches. And that's going to go inside here, like that. Ooh, I like that side too. Ah, so pretty. Okay, and then you're going to need the same size piece, 2 inches by 5 1/4 in white or vanilla, so that you have a space to stamp and write on the inside of your card. Now the card Kathy sent me, she had also put white here in this triangular flap, which would be a good way if you needed to stamp over here, and then you could fill the whole spot with writing. Okay, so that's the supplies that are necessary. And then of course you'll want something to make a focal point with. So stamps, punches, dies, something to make this sort of focal point in the middle. But it all begins with a simple sheet of cardstock. So the first thing we need to do is make sure our cutting blade is up out of the way, and that we're using our scoring blade, and we're going to score the cardstock into quarters. So vertically, that would be at the 4 1/4 mark. Horizontally, that's at the 5 1/2 mark. So we've scored our cardstock into 4 equal panels. I'll just crease mine so you can see. So it's in half this way and in half this way. Okay? Then we're going to remove this top left panel entirely. We don't need that at all, so we're going to cut it off. So we'll slide it back in here at 4 1/4. And we're going to cut down that score line just, excuse me, just to that 5 1/2 inch mark. So make sure you're watching on your trimmer as you're pulling your blade so that you stop at the 5 1/2 inch mark. There we go. And if you're a little bit off, you can clip that with your scissors. And then we're going to remove that panel entirely. So I'm putting it in horizontally on the long edge at 5 1/2 and just cutting down that score to 4 1/4 this time. So we have just removed the upper left panel entirely. So use that on some other card because that's a nice big piece. That would make a great matte layer. Now we're going to cut off diagonally the 2 remaining panels here. So we need to cut one from the bottom corner up to the middle and the other from the top corner down to the middle. Okay, so let's start with the top one. And put that top corner in the track of your trimmer. Am I down where you can see it? Yeah. Okay, and then put the score line at the 5 1/2 inch mark. Put the score line also in that trimmer track. So I've got the point in the trimmer track and this score line is in the trimmer track. And that will allow me to get a perfect diagonal cut from top left to bottom right on that panel. Okay, this is perfect for decorating another card, so we'll set that aside. And then this one too, instead of going from top to bottom, we're going from the middle to the corner, or the corner to the, let's see, how should we do this? How can I do this so that it makes sense, right? Let's do it from the bottom corner to the middle. So I'm putting the bottom corner of that panel in the track, and the middle is also in that track. Okay, so another perfect diagonal cut there. I love trimmers. They help you be straight, don't they? And that gives us our 2 diagonal panels, which is how this card gets its name, the double diagonal. Pretty cool, huh? And I love that it's a fancy fold, but it leaves you with big pieces. Even though this card takes up one whole sheet of cardstock, these pieces are going to be really useful for other cards. So no loss there, right? I hate wasting paper. So I'm going to set the trimmer aside because we're done with it for the moment. And you want to burnish those folds carefully with your bone folder. Much stronger than doing it with your fingers. So if your fingers don't hurt, you should not be making them hurt by using them like in place of a bone folder. If there are any folds that are a little bit off, now is the time to trim them so that everything is perfectly smooth. Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. Okay, so now we go to those 2 pieces of pattern paper that we picked out. They're double-sided, and they measured 4 inches this way by 5 1/4, right? So they're going to be, it's like you have one step down from the card front size, right? So we've got 2 of those, but you can't cut them the same way. And just like these are 2 different angles going 2 different directions, we got to cut our 2 pieces differently. So set aside the card base for a moment and grab your trimmer back. And we are going to cut the piece for the front of this. So when you hold up the pattern paper, you can see that the angle needs to go from the bottom left to the top right. So that's how we're going to put it in the trimmer, with the bottom left in the track of the trimmer and the top right in the track of the trimmer. Okay, take your time to line it up because it's worth it later when you're trying to match up inaccurate lines, right? So you can see how that is going to fit perfectly on our top panel. And then we have this fun one, which we can either tuck right in here for our lower panel, or if you want the same pattern showing, you can tuck it in here. Cool, huh? All right, but I'm not going to glue anything down until I make sure that the second piece is also cut accurately. So let's cut for this diagonal piece here. So I know that this piece is going to have to be cut from the top left to the bottom right this time. Okay, top left, bottom right. So we're going to put that in the trimmer, line up the top left and the bottom right corners, And slice that again into a perfect diagonal. Have I sold you on the trimmer yet? You really need one. And make sure you get one with a ruler that goes this direction and this direction. That is so important. If you don't get the Stampin' Up! One, that's fine, but just make sure you're getting a good quality one. Okay. So we have that diagonal cut, and we can do it like this. We can do it like that. So put the trimmer away, and now is the time to figure out your patterns. So how do you want your pretty patterns? Do I want, oh, I really like that one. Okay, so I know I want this color on top. This is going to be my main pattern. So I'll go ahead and glue that one down. Ah, come on. There we go. I'm using liquid glue so that I have a moment to adjust, to get glue all over my fingers. So I have a little bit of time to make sure I've got my angle right. Then, you know, I kind of liked it with that bright piece. That was pretty. How does it look with my strip of green here? Ooh, it's nice and fresh. I think I will glue this down. This down to here. Choo, choo, choo. This, by the way, only works if you have reversible paper that you like both sides, because you can't flip around the angles if you don't have paper that you like both sides on. Let's see. It doesn't matter quite as much on here because they're both a similar pattern. That is one downside to that pattern, is that it's similar on both sides, which is not a typical thing with double-sided paper. Gorgeous colors. So pretty. Okay, we're almost done with the decorating part. So we've got our 2-inch strip. How do I want it? Oh, that's so pretty. Do I like it better this way or this way? Tell me in the comments if you think I should put it down with the stripes showing or the leaves. It's a pretty busy card, isn't it? I'm going to go with the stripes. So it's busy, but it's not distracting from the flowers. That piece, again, is 2 by 5 1/4. So it's going to fit with a little margin. And then again, 2 by 5 1/4 of your neutral. And actually, I should have stamped on that before I glued it down, right? Just in case something happens when I stamp it. I could flip it over, except that I already glued it down. All right, well, let's hope nothing happens when I stamp it, right? Except what's supposed to happen. All right, so I've got a purple ink here, which matched a little better when my card base was purple, right? But you want to choose a matching ink and a sentiment that will fit in a little 2-inch area. My sentiment is from a great stamp set called Heartfelt Hexagon. It goes with the hexagon punch, and I just really, really like the sentiments in that. If you need a good overall set that just is good for a whole bunch of occasions, Heartfelt Hexagons is an excellent one for that. Okay, and then I don't usually like to write a whole lot of my cards, so this is perfect for me. But again, I could replace this with white if I really wanted to. Okay, so that's the basic card, and the rest is just decorating. So let's leave this here where you can see it, and we will make the focal point. Trying to put it where you can see it. There we go. All right, they will lay flat once they've been on your envelope. They'll lay perfectly flat, but for now they're not going to be flat, right? Okay. So I have got a couple of coordinating colors of cardstock and my cute little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I will tell you, we've had a few complaints about the Cut and Emboss not rolling through smoothly. And I will give you my hint for that. I'm using the gray plate that comes with the machine. So it's the gray plate. It's labeled as number 3, and that's what I'm using as my platform, and that has been the answer to the problem for me. So if you are having trouble getting your plates to move through your mini cut and emboss, switch to the gray plate and you probably won't have any problems at all. Smooth as butter. Love that. As always, if you are a customer friend of mine and you have trouble with products, just let me know. I would be happy to walk you through it, or you know, if you happen to get a defective item, I'd be happy to help you with your exchange. So don't suffer with bad toys, right? Call me and we'll get the toys fixed. Okay, so I'm cutting out 2 nested circles. These are the deckled circles dies, and those are going to be available, I believe, going forward. They will be an online exclusive. They were in one of our past mini catalogs, and they will be available in our online exclusive category from here on out. So still there, but just not pictured in the catalog, so don't forget about them, right? So I've cut out 2 circles of coordinating cardstock. This is a great way to use up scraps, and that's going to be my focal point. Now I'm not going to stamp on this piece, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. There we go. I like that deckled edge. It's just a little rough edge. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe it's too fine to show up on the video, but it's just a little roughened edge, and just something different than stitches or scallops. Kind of fun. And that, along with our beautiful laser cut butterfly from the Spring Mini Catalog, is our focal point. I'm going to pop that on with a couple of glue dots. And I like to put him at an angle. You could totally put him straight though, but I put him at an angle so that his body matched the angle of the card, the diagonal card front there. Okay. Now, can you see what's going to happen? We only want to attach the butterfly to this top diagonal door, right? We can't attach it to both or the card won't open, right? And we definitely don't want to attach it to the back inside of the card. So we are going to put our little dimensionals right along the edge, making sure that they'll be covered by our circle. And I would use 4, even though it's close together in a small amount of space. But that is all that this will be attached by. So 4 is good because it'll be 4 times as strong as if you just used 1. There we go. You can do anything for a focal point. A square is fine. Circles, hearts, flowers, or leave it without a focal point if you want. But I love it with that butterfly. Then I've got some yellow twine from our 3-color twine pack. That is also a Spring Mini Catalog item, and it is carrying over to the next main catalog. So that's fun. It's got pink, blue, yellow. So this is going to bring out the yellow tones in my flowers. See, there you go. I covered up all the purple, and yet I'm using purple cardstock for my focal point, aren't I? So that maybe should have been this pretty dark red color. Would have been a good color choice for that. That's what happens when you change things on the fly, right? Without thinking about it. And then there's another butterfly from that set. It's tiny and cute. So I'm going to put it in here. Let me show you these before I move on. So this is an unopened pack of the paper butterflies. You get 5 designs, 3 from a sideways perspective and 2 full-on perspective. And you get 40 total of them. So 8 sheets of butterflies. They can be sponged, stamped, spritzed, embossed, colored with markers, anything you want. I have been having a lot of fun just using them white though. Especially against bold, dark papers like these. So there you go. Isn't that the coolest card? Thank you to my friend Kathy for sending that to me for my birthday. I was so inspired by it, and I just had to come on live and share it with my friends. So if you are interested in the zinnia paper, it is an online exclusive available at lyssa.stampinup.net. So if you click on the What's New category or the online exclusives, you will see this beautiful zinnia paper. The Spring Mini Catalog is where you'll find the paper butterflies. And also you can always just use the search function on the Stampin' Up! Website to find the products just by typing in like butterflies, for instance, and that would pop up, or twine, and all your twine options will pop up. So the sky is the limit. All right. All right. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope when you go to shop, you will shop with Lyssa at stampinup.net. See you later, folks.